Hello, my friends on YouTube. Today is Sunday, the 11th of December 2022, and today's video is about it is not about the morality police in Iran. I'm going to explain that why is that. However, in the beginning, I'd like to speak about a comment came from Raveen Kamali 1 Plus, and she says that she speaks with Muslim, and obviously many of them, especially those who believe that this is a good message, that it came 1400 years ago, and she's trying to explain that it is not right to be so lustful, especially after death. I'm going to give my own experience. Reality is many of the people who follow this nonsense are encouraged by the Muslim clerk, whether it's imam or mullah, and the founder of this ideology, not to use your mind. There's hadith. There are many things actually. It tells the people, the followers, don't use your mind, don't use your head, because if you do, you could end up in hell. So, unfortunately, they stopped. I had an experience in Egypt. I'm going to just explain to you how does that work. And that experience was, I was talking with a young man who was studying civil engineering. And to become an engineer, you're not necessarily stupid. You have certain logic. You have to have certain logic. Otherwise, you could build something that it will collapse and hurt or kill many people. So the subject was about the rape of the Jewish girl. Her name is Safiya bint Huyay, that the founder of Islam raped after he killed her family, her tribe. He killed all the men and he raped the daughter. And that young man, when he heard that, because the Muslim clerks, they normally don't like to talk about these things because it could open subject that people start to ask questions and out of curiosity, and that will lead them to leave this nonsense. So he was not aware that something stupid like this happened. So he googled it, and he read that it was happened after the battle was over, as if he rapes her before the battle it's wrong, and after the battle is right. So rape by itself in his mind is not a problem. Is when do you do that? After you kill her husband and her father and brother, it's okay now. She's yours. She is a captive of war. Hence, you have the right to do that. And to supposedly an intelligent person, a young man, it should click, but it doesn't. It doesn't. Why? Because they are commanded not to use their heads. So the way you think and the way they perceive things, so it's very different. So to explain to a person that after we die we shed the physical body, and I can't say how it is in the next world, if there's a next world. exactly how it is, if a human will have that desire or not, I can't talk about it. I don't know. Okay? However, the fact remains that on Earth, where we are now, to do that is wrong. And when you talk about these people, when you talk to these people, let's start it will take long, I'm sorry. Something will appear in the middle of that video. It will probably answer more of the question. In Iran now, the Iranian government considered removing or getting rid of the morality police. I actually chose that title because about 15 years ago I read a book. The book was good, but if it comes out today, I won't pay money for it. And the reason is it was done by Starbucks CEO. And the title of the book was "It's Not About the Coffee." And the meaning of the book is like the service that Starbucks offer to people made Starbucks famous and successful. The book itself was good, but what Starbucks stands for today, as it is clear, I don't support them. I don't buy coffee from them anymore for a few years now. And whatever company that has a corrupt agenda or bad, immoral agenda in a way, to control people or to try to do something that I disagree with, I don't buy anything from them. I don't buy anything from Starbucks now. I don't buy anything from Disney. Whatever that I don't agree with, I don't give them my money. And this is the best way to actually, when their profit goes down, they consider where to stand. Okay, so the Iranian government was considering to get rid of the morality police, and then they changed their mind. Why did they change their mind? Because it's actually not about the police. They are trying to keep total control of the country. Now, if they consider getting rid of the morality police, there will be something next, and next, and next, and it will be non-stop until they get rid of them. And they don't want that. That's why they were considering getting rid of the morality police and leave the people alone, and now they are hesitant to do that. Yet they went further, and they actually, and the same thing with China about COVID restriction. The virus is the virus. The virus didn't change, even if it's a deadly virus. It didn't change. And yet, after people demonstrated by the millions on the street, and the economy is paralyzed when you have people on the street demonstrating. It's paralyzed the nation. So only then they started to ease with the restriction. And the question is the same as we asked about Iran. The virus is the same. If it was so dangerous in the beginning, it's still dangerous today. Why are you easing up on it? I mean, we know if there is, let's say, a criminal in a building, in an apartment building, trying to kill people and doing bad things, the police comes, they quarantine the area, they they evacuate the people in this area, and then they try to take this person down. But in the middle, they say, okay, we're leaving now. We're not pursuing that anymore. But what about this guy that you were saying he's killing people in the building? No, it's okay. That means you were doing this merely to try to control the people of China, and the people don't like it. So it's not about easing the grip in China either, whether it's Iran or China. You are worried about losing the control, okay? And using the virus, using the morality police, using whatever mean to keep people under your control. And now that they are demonstrating and you cannot control it, you are trying to save the position that you occupy. Whether it's not really about morality at all. It's not. It's keeping your position. So if really keeping your position requires that, hey, people can go naked to the beach, you will allow it. And you will find the mullah to justify it. The other day there was one guy, I think he was from Muslim clerk from Saudi Arabia, was saying that the whole buttocks area and legs and the woman of a woman, it's okay to show. From covering everything except the eyes, and even the eyes a little bit covered, from covering everything to total nudity. He said the only thing the woman should cover is the private part in the front and I'm sorry to say that, but and the anal area. So practically, if you have something that it's like 3-4 inches to cover only these two parts, hey, you can be naked. So from total coverage to total openness. Why? Because now they are losing the grip, so they have to do something to stay relevant. Same in Iran, the same in all these countries, and in China. They want to continue on controlling people, whatever it takes. So from beginning, it was not about morality. It is about the authority and control. And they feel that the grip is failing to continue holding that on people. Very interesting that a young man in Iran who was demonstrating, he is charged, he been killed, he been executed because he was demonstrating. To demonstrate, they call the charge is he is enemy of God and he's fighting God. It's like if God, as the Muslims say, he is in the 7th heaven, this young man, I'm going to put him in the description box, made a special rifle that it will go to the 7th heaven and shoot God in the heart and kill him, and therefore he ought to be killed. Another one, also from Iran, and this is to show it's intimidation. As it says in the book, I spoke of it in the last video, that not to kill the people, but kill them with vicious way to make an example of them so that nobody will challenge the authority or the leader ever again. So when they kill these people, they hang them in public so that people can see and get horrified. Okay, I will not do that because I don't end up like this in front of my father or mother or my wife or children or what have you. Okay, and these people who speak about morality, I'm going to put this also in the description box. Before I forget, also in Iran, one young man, they are pretending to kill him few times to put fear in his heart and to put fear in the other people's heart. They pretend they will kill him and then they will release him and put him back in prison. Every few days do that with him. And he doesn't know when they will kill him, if they will kill him. But it's all for intimidation, so that they can keep their hands on the authority to rule the people by force. These people, when they speak about moral standard and morality, this is a joke. This is a joke, and I'm going to explain why. A few years ago, I'm going to put that also in the description box, a Muslim clerk from the Salafi movement, and he was also a state, like in the parliament, a parliament man, but he was Salafi, which is Sunni, of those who follow the word to the letter. Okay, and this man was caught on the highway in a car. I don't know if it was rented or what, in a car with a woman having sex in a car on the highway. I guess the police was passing by, they saw this car parked on the side. So they were checking if the car broke down, they need help or what have you. They found this Muslim, famous, well known. His name is Ali Wanis, having sexual relationship with a woman, and of course she must have been veiled woman, Muslim, veiled. So this is a show, because also if you go back 1400 years ago, there is a story that the founder of this ideology was caught by one of his wives. Her name was Hafsa, the daughter of the second caliphate. She went out shopping, she came back. He took one of her servants. Her name was Mary the Copt, was an Egyptian woman given to him to be a servant. She was a servant of his wife. Speaking of morality, his wife went out shopping. He took her. She is a servant. She doesn't have a saying. She has to do whatever her master tells her to do, man or woman. The wife went out shopping. He took her. He was raping her, and his wife came, and it was a big fuss. You do that in my bed? So you speak of morality? The founder didn't have much morality. If your founder didn't have morality, how can you speak of morality? Okay, when your founder of this nonsense, many of you brag that he used to go to have sexual relationship with 9 women in one night without washing, and you're so proud of that. First, this is filth. So physically that's filth. That's dirty. okay, whatever bacteria or whatever, you are moving that from one woman to the next. Disease, filth. Second, you brag of a man who practice sexual relationship with 9 women in one day, in one night. Is that something to brag of or to be ashamed of? This is something shameful. I don't know. I don't know why you brag of this. So if this is the boss, why should we expect any morality or any goodness coming of his followers? So at the end, why the founder put in his teaching, whoever change his religion, kill him. Whoever fight me or come against me, he is to be murdered in a vicious way. Why? Because this is what's practiced now in these countries, whether it is Iran, anyway, the rest of these Islamic countries. Why? Because you will lose your authority. You will be kicked out. And many people are against him, against the founder. So to stop that, he had to put something to intimidate them. Otherwise, they would leave. So you leave, I kill you. You go against me, I kill you. Can't go against me. Same like mafia leaders. So where do we go from here? Where actually this Iran and China, nobody really knows 100% where are we going to be a year from now. If that will bring chaos, I don't know. But we are really living in a very interesting time in human history. And there's a lot of changes that nobody knows. But the Middle East and that region, Islamic country called, or what's so-called Islamic countries, is not going to last long. Some people may disagree with me, but reality is, even China, with the situation like this, it cannot continue for long. So one of two, it's either they are going to use, like what happened in June of 1989 in Tiananmen Square in China, total force, like the tanks will go out on the street and shoot thousands or probably millions of people to take total control again, or things will change soon. We thank you very much. We hope to hear from you.